All right. So the agenda of this video is to document everything that I know about letters of recommendation, which is a part of your MS application process. This video is a part of a series which I'm running on my YouTube channel about MS application process, in which I cover everything that I've learned about MS applications very, very fundamentally. So no matter if you're from your 2025 application cycle, 26, 27, the videos are structured in a way that it will help you guys no matter what application cycle you are a part of. This video specifically is about letters of recommendation. I've made 3 other videos in which I've talked about statement of purpose, timeline, and personal statement. You can check them out, or they might be linked somewhere over here. This video is going to be about letters of recommendation. Now, I understand that LORs aren't a part of the application that you work on. Your recommenders work on this, but because they're a part of your application, I think I can give some insights into how can you manage this part of your application to make sure that the whole application that you're working on comes out really good. So I have a couple of tips which I can just start off right now, under the assumption that you have already found your recommenders. Like you have already figured out that, okay, these 3-4 people are the ones who are going to be helping out with this part of your application. So that is being assumed. Now moving ahead to the first part. The first part is to make your recommenders familiar with your profile. This is especially useful if you are taking a recommendation from someone from your university, that is your professor, and you obviously have to take one academic recommendation. Give them a document in which you highlight everything that you've done in the last 4 years or 6 years before coming for your MS degree. This is helpful because those professors aren't just recommending you, they're recommending 10 other people along with you. So you want to make sure that the details that you submit to them and the details that they write are really aligned. You want to talk to them about the universities that you're applying to. You want to talk about the courses that you're applying to, the career goal that you have. All of those things like your profile and all of those things. Just submit a document to them, or make a connection with them. Like this, like by talking to them verbally, so that whatever they are supposed to write is ingrained in their mind. That is the first point. Make them familiar about your profile. That's the first thing. Second thing, a lot of people have this question. This is a very interesting question that I had back then. Like, let's say, for example, I'm working with, let's say an assistant professor or just a professor from the department. What if I take a recommendation from the head of department that would add more value to my profile? This is a very common question. Even I had that. And I remember one line from the Stanford application. What they wrote is, we care more about your career growth and your journey than your recommender's profile. This is something along those lines is what Stanford had written on their application. So long story short, the thing is, it doesn't matter. The designation of the person who is recommending you doesn't matter, at least with the MEM applications for sure. For research, for computer science, all of those fields, it might be very different. This is very, very MEM specific. So this was on the Stanford MSc application. So what this line or what I'm trying to say is, if you have worked under a professor or he's seen you grow in the last 3 to 4 years of your undergrad, just for the designation, please don't go to any other professor who has a higher designation than the professor that you've worked with. Be authentic. Let's say you have worked with that professor, please go ahead with that, because the universities, in my opinion, are caring more about what is your journey under that mentor or academy that is called, than the designation that they have. Now, this is strictly for MEM applications. I cannot generalize this for research and computer science and all of it because I'm not sure. But I think being authentic is a universal advice. This can go with, I believe, every career stream that you are trying to get into. So this was the second tip. The third tip is to basically really streamline your letters of recommendation process. And this is a mistake that I made. So let me walk you through a story and then we'll come to the conclusion, which I basically have lived. So what I did was I applied to 7 schools and I split it into 3 different parts, which is 2 plus 3 plus 2, based on the deadlines of these universities. And what I did was, for every 2 universities or 3 universities, let's say bundle them together, 2 of the universities have deadline the next 2 weeks. So I used to open the portal, I used to go to the recommenders section, append my recommenders details like their email ID, their institution, designation, whatever that is, and then used to send them a WhatsApp message or an email. Like, I've appended this, confirm that you have received an email from, let's say, NYU or Cornell. Please work on my letter of recommendation, needs to be submitted by so-and-so date. Now, doing this once is fine, twice is fine. But what I did was, for every cycle that I had, like 2 plus 3 plus 2, every time I used to hit them up. Like, please work on this, please, submit this and all of that. They were very kind enough. Like, I didn't have to run behind them to all of this. But when I look back at it right now, what I think is all of this could have been streamlined. How? It was a very simple thing. You know the universities that you are going to apply to. You create access to all of these university portals or your application. I have stressed upon it in the previous 3 videos. I'm stressing on this again. Please create access to the university portal, easiest out your life. You go to the recommendation section page, append all the recommenders for all the universities all at once. So what happens is in your recommenders inbox, they get Sohan Joshi, for example, and all the universities that he's applying to, all the universities at once basically. So he just needs to, let's say, work on your letter of recommendation, I don't know, maybe for the next 3-4 days, and then he can pick that document and append it across all the universities. You are done. His work is done and your work from that recommender is done. You don't have to follow up. You don't have to stress upon one thing, that whether they'll submit it or no. Because again, what happens is, I think for the universities that I applied to, the thing was, when you submit the application or when the deadline is, let's say the deadline is 31st of December, the recommender has to submit it within 10 to 14 days of the deadline. And if they don't, your application isn't considered. So you don't want a case where you have submitted the application, tap into the recommender twice, thrice, whatever that is, and he somehow doesn't respond to your mail or whatever that is. This usually doesn't happen. But even if it doesn't happen, let's say, this is a lot of headache for that recommender or yourself as well. Like, working on the applications, tapping into them, again, working on the applications, tapping into them. All of this can be just streamlined if, in the beginning of your application cycle, just append them, like the process that I mentioned, things become very easy. So these are the 3 things that I have about letter of recommendation. Again, this is, I think, a very, very short video. Let me guess, this is not even 5 minutes long. But this was about the letter of recommendation. Please get the process streamlined, figure out your recommenders. The designation doesn't matter, at least for the MM application. Stressing that again. I can't talk about computer science and research careers and all of that stuff. Talking about MEM, at least that was mentioned on the Stanford application. I don't know how much of it actually matters in the evaluation of the application, but this is what I see. Just one last point about the people, those who haven't figured out their recommenders. Universities usually do have a criteria that they need at least, like, again, on the university application portal, you will see what they are asking for. Some universities compulsorily want you to have 2 professors, and then one person could be your manager or your extracurricular, someone who has seen you do that. Some universities need only 1 professor from academics and 2 others. 2 could be variable. Some need all 3 professors, so you might want to check that out. So this is, again, very, very university specific. That's why I'm saying, please create access to the university applications. Your life becomes very easy. You don't want to end up at a place where you are taking all 3 professors and then you see that, oh shit, the university needs you to have, I don't know, 2 professors and 1 compulsorily a manager, whatever that is. So just go through that and then figure out the people under whom you have a lot of work or who have seen you grow in the last 3 to 4 years. And if in case, with this, chances are very slim, if in case some person from their first year or second year is watching this video, what you might want to do is, from the first year, find really good mentors who can then help you with your letters of recommendation and all of that. So very brief video talking about letters of recommendation. And that's pretty much it. My 2 weeks of filming are now sorted. This video comes out on this weekend and this video comes out on the next weekend. I don't know what I just said. Personal statement comes out on this weekend and this video the next weekend, whatever that is. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And next video is going to be about just money and time saving tips for your MS application. I think it's going to be super helpful for a lot of people. That's pretty much it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you around. Bye bye.